The grandma was a tailor in heaven. Every day, her job was to sew new clothes for souls. But on this day, she saw her granddaughter's soul. It turned out that in this world, there were 3 steps for people to enter heaven after death. The first step was to put on new clothes in the tailor's room. The next was the bell room, where the soul's consciousness was woken up. The last was the job assignment office, where they would go to work. The grandma worked right in the tailor's room. While she was at work, an order floated in through the crack of the door. The first guest was a man. The grandma took out a tape measure, skillfully took his size, and in a short time, a beautiful new dress was done. Then she picked up a bell, shook it gently, and a white light sent the man to the bellroom. At that moment, the order for the next guest came. The grandma looked down. Why did the person in the photo look so much like her little granddaughter? The grandma could not believe it, but the soul floating above the workbench was really her young granddaughter. She looked at a photo nearby. Back then, her granddaughter was still a baby. The grandma passed away only when the granddaughter grew into a little girl. But only a few months had gone by. How could the granddaughter end up like this? Watching her granddaughter lie there without moving, the grandma's eyes got wet right away. She touched her granddaughter's small head, and tears kept rolling down. Just then, the grandma's eyes suddenly became firm. It seemed nothing could stop her from saving her granddaughter. She tore off her work clothes. Then she took a doll that looked just like her granddaughter, put new clothes on it, and shook the bell. The doll replaced the granddaughter's soul like that. But God was no fool. He soon noticed something was wrong. There was a flash of lightning and a clap of thunder, and God appeared in the tailor's room. He shouted at the grandma for having no work ethics and said she must hand over the granddaughter at once. But the grandma shook her head and refused. This time, she would never let go. This made God very angry. He flew into a rage and sent the grandma and granddaughter down to the human world. Unexpectedly, they saw the granddaughter's body right away. It turned out that the granddaughter had been hit and killed by a car while trying to save a small dog. This time, it was God's turn to feel sorry. He put the doll next to the photo of the grandma and granddaughter. Then he waved his hand, and the doll suddenly gave off a bright light. At the same time, the saved dog kept barking at the girl, and the girl's finger suddenly moved a little. The story ends here. Guess where the grandma went?